Welcome to the Two Sides, One Mic podcast. I'm your host, Leah Tanner, and with me I have my amazing co-host,
Kit J. Scott. We're here, episode 2. How you feeling?
I'm feeling much better this week. I'm feeling great. How are you doing?
I am doing amazing. It's my birthday weekend, so I will be dropping my Cash App link under. So feel free to, get your boy a drink. Yeah, we're here.
All right. Not the Cash App.
Oh, my God.
Okay. All right. So I think we should start off by telling everybody how you and I know each other.
All right. How do we know each other? I met Leah in high school. We went to high school together.
Yes, we did meet in high school together. Do you remember what class?
Do you remember what class? It was health class. Health class.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Spanish.
No, it was health class.
Okay.
I want to say that because I was a new kid I'm from Oklahoma, and I want to say it was like a day where I don't necessarily know if you were in health class, but it was like we were doing like a little game show. So we would go up and the health teacher would ask us questions, and we had to that's where I met you.
Wow. Okay. I did not remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we met in Miss Eichenfeld's class in Spanish.
Yeah.
So I guess.
I think that was like our official class.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So high school, we were, what grade were we in?
9th grade.
9th grade.
So I was 13? So I've known you for
a long time.
A long time. More than half my life at this point.
Yeah. So, yep. So that's how we met. We went to school together, and we grew up we lived right down the street from each other too for a very long time.
On the east side of Las Vegas.
Yes. All right.
So, feedback from the first podcast. What has people been saying?
So that was one of the questions I got a lot was how do you guys know each other? That was a big one. So they wanted to know how we knew each other. Other feedback, it was mainly, how awkward I was the first episode. But I did get a lot of also good feedback too, right? A lot of people enjoyed it.
Just the analytics on my channel, I've got a lot of views, a lot of great feedback. My phone's been blowing up. A lot of people texting me, and they said it was really, really good. They said it was really good. One thing that we're going to try differently is we're going to have prepared topics this time. Because I'm always just I'm a scatterbrain, so I'm just all over the place. I feel like I can just do anything on the fly. So today we've sat on and marinated on a few topics. So I feel like we're gonna have a really good episode.
Me too. And I like structure that works well for me. So
exactly. And it just makes sense. You're an author, to just have it prepared. So segue. Speaking of topics, what's the first topic you want to talk about today?
So the first topic that we should talk about. So actually, you came up with this question: can exes be friends?
Oh, we're going right into it. All right.
We're going right into it.
We are going right into it. So, in my personal opinion, I do not believe that exes can be friends.
Okay, why?
I just feel we're going straight into it. So, you know what? I'm in a mood today because it's my birthday weekend. We're turning up. So, to give you an example, my ex, we were together for 4.5 years, and she's going to get her little 15 minutes of fame right now. But I really felt that was my best friend. And I felt that she felt the same way. I remember when she's packing her stuff, leaving, she's crying, basically saying how you were my best friend. Mm-hmm. This is crazy. And we did everything together. And it was to the point where it was my hobbies, which I'm into battle rap and stuff. So I remember she would watch these battles with me because she was if that's your hobby, I want to be a part of it, because what if it's 3 a.m. and you can't call your friend? So I want you to talk to me about it. And we did everything together. We were best friends. But at the end of the day, it was I had to block her from everything. So as of right now, there's no way for me to communicate with her, because it's just I just feel that when it comes to sexual chemistry, it's I don't want to get confused. I don't want her to get confused. And I just feel because there's that sexual chemistry, there's just what's the point? You know what I mean? I just feel that we just can't be coexisting. We just can't be friends, because it'll lead to other things. And I just feel it'll lead to confusion. So I just feel that exes just can't be friends. And we were so far in our relationship that it's just done. And Of course, maybe I'll run into her here and there, but at the end of the day, I have mentally prepared myself, and I feel like she's done the same to never talk to her, to never pretty much see her again. And then also, it's like I wouldn't want to date a girl who also still talks to her ex. You know what I mean? Like, that's just wild. Even though we were best friends, it's like if she got a new guy or I got a new girl, it's like I don't want them to feel some type of way, you know what I mean? Because I feel like they'll never truly love us because we are still connected at some sort. So, in my personal opinion, heck no, exes can't be friends. I would never date a girl or take her serious if she was still friends with her ex.
I agree. I agree that you cannot be friends with your ex too. And I think, like you said, like the blocking and all of that, like it seems like harsh, but I think it's necessary to like, you know, like heal and to be able to move on. But and I feel like, yeah, you did the right thing, even though it's hard.
It was definitely hard. It wasn't easy. Wasn't easy.
For sure. Because yeah, it's like you said, like the lines can get blurred, things can get blurred. So yeah, and just because of chemistry, past, all that stuff, like it just, I don't think there's ever really a way like where it works out well, right? Like somebody's going to get those feelings back or something. And so I agree with you that exes cannot be friends for sure.
Exactly. Because, yeah, like you said, someone's going to get attached. Someone's going to spark those feelings. And it's just, I'm just not about that.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Yeah, and social media too, like you said, like I think that can be when you have an ex and you leave them on your social media, like I think that can be, I don't know, like a slippery slope too, like not good for either of you, like to keep like stalking each other's like pages or just even knowing like what's happening like in their lives. So yeah, I think
another segue. So how do you feel about that? Is that a red flag? Is that like let's say you are talking to a guy and you go to their Facebook or their Instagram and you scroll back like 2012 and they have that one picture with their ex, and it's just like, why is that there?
So usually a lot of the times pictures are gone, but I mean, I have come to across that before too, but I think if it's just like one, I'm like, okay, but like if there's like, I don't know, maybe there was like something significant about that picture or whatever, but I feel like it shouldn't really be on the page. Like there's ways where you can like take it off or like still like keep it on there without like deleting it. Yeah, archive it. So yeah, so it is a little bit of a red flag. But I mean, as long as it's not like, also like if this was like 4 years back or whatever, like that's not something that I'm gonna like hold against a guy. But
so picture 10 years ago with this ex, you're gonna be like, all right, that's fine. that's okay.
I mean, I think it should be gone, but like, I feel like I would probably want to know like why, especially like I said, if it's just one picture, like why is this one picture up? Like, like wanting to know, I don't know, wanting to know more information about it, I guess. But like, yeah, I definitely think that those pictures should be removed for sure.
For sure. I agree. Because if I'm scrolling through and I see a picture, I'm like, what is this? Like, this needs to be gone.
Yeah, even if it's 10 years ago.
10 years ago. 10 years, 20 years, I don't care.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next topic.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about are we dating or are we just talking? Let's talk about that from like a male and a female's point of view.
All right. So I feel like, how can I put this? I feel like there's like a thin line between like dating and talking, and I just feel like communication's key. So it's kind of like you gotta set the standard from the beginning. Because for instance, me right now, I feel like that I'm talking to women, but I wouldn't necessarily say we're dating, and I let it be known from the beginning. Like this, like I don't know, it's just a slippery slope. Like that's honestly a tough question, and I've been sitting on this question for a while. How do you feel about?
Okay, so I do think that it needs to be talked about in the beginning for sure, because I have been in that situation where, like, I knew that he and we were the only ones talking to each other. Like, I wasn't talking to anyone else. He wasn't talking to anyone else either. But I think that it does need to be something that is discussed, like, in the beginning. Like you were saying, to have that talked about in the beginning when you guys are first talking, like, kind of like, what are your, that's why I feel like you need to just, like, are you just dating to date? Like, are you dating because, like, you know, for a relationship? I think those things need to be talked about, like, super early on to avoid the confusion and be put in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, because sometimes, is it wrong if you just, let's just say, I'm not going to say it's a hobby, but is it wrong if you just like going on dates? Like, sometimes it's just like you just want to make a girl's day. You just want to take her on a date.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So that's where I think, like, the communication part is key, right? Like, knowing what you want out of it. Like, because I know I've been in seasons where I'm like, I just want to, like, be like a serial dater. Yeah. And then there's times where I'm like, no, like, I want to date intentionally. Like, the person I'm talking to, like, I just, right. Like, I want to know that it's going towards, like, a relationship, or, like, I don't want that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, if you're single, like, and if you wanted, you know, especially you just came out of a long-term relationship, right? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So it just depends on what you want, what you're looking for. But I think it should also be, like, you should be telling the other person too, right? Like, this is just, And
sometimes is that like an awkward conversation? Because it might be a girl's birthday. It might be, maybe she just graduated. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take her out, like, just to make her feel good. And then it's like, we go out on this date, quote unquote. And then what if they get, like, mixed emotions?
So that's where it's hard, because I think, like, especially for women, and especially if it's somebody that wants to be, like, in a relationship or whatever, like, I think that's where it can be very confusing. Like, if you don't have that conversation, like, oh, this is just, like, you know, I just want to take you out, like, or whatever, because I feel like women, we can get like, easily attached, and we can, like, start, like, developing feelings more quickly than a male. And so I think that it is important, no matter how awkward it is, to have that conversation for both people, on both ends, to protect both people.
So let's just say I'm like, you just graduated, or you did some sort of achievement. Let's go to Carbone. Should I just let it be known, like, hey, but this is not a date? Or...
Well, okay, so, and it also, too, depends on, too, like, does this person have interest in you, too? Because it could be like, okay, you're taking this person out on a date and, like, or, like, just to take them out to celebrate them or whatever, but maybe, you know, if they're not interested, yes. But if you guys are both, like, equally, like, interested, that's when I feel like it should. But I think there's nothing wrong with taking somebody out for, like, you know, to celebrate, like, an achievement or something like that. Like, that's great, and that's super nice. But yeah, I just think that, you should.
So to segue, for instance, let's say you're talking to a guy and you see him, maybe his intentions are good. It's an actual date, so he takes you out on a date. But then you see him maybe on social media later, he takes another girl on a date, like, the next week. How do you feel?
So if I like this person, right, I'm going to feel some type of way. Yes. And that's when I feel like, and that's why, like, the other conversations, like, in the beginning are important, because, yes, for me, like, if I am wanting to date intentionally, right, and I see that you're, like, dating multiple girls, like, I don't know, like, that's where I feel like conversations have to be had, right? Because I feel like, okay, like, I'm just, like, I'm not going to take you seriously, and I'm not going to want to go down, like, a road of, like, wanting to develop a further relationship if I see you dating all these other, like, women. And so for me, that's
so what if it's, because I'll be honest, I feel like when I go on dates, I'm a pretty good date, I'm a fun date. What if the date is, like, amazing, and this guy, he's really good at, you just have fun with him, but he just dates multiple women? Okay,
so I've also had that too. And that's when I feel like it is hard, because I have had that, like, yes, I call him, like, my biggest red flag. He is somebody that, definitely that same exact situation. Like, I feel like, and that's where it's hard, because I feel like when you have those feelings and all that stuff that starts to develop, and you guys, like, start hanging out more, and even if he has made it known or whatever, like that, like he's not ready for a relationship or whatever, like that's where it's hard. And if the other person wants like a relationship, that's when it gets tricky.
Perfect. So you're saying there's an exception. If you're good at dating, then that's the exception. So step it up. Step up your dating game.
Oh my gosh, that's not what I was saying, but okay. All right.
So the segue, obviously, when you go on a date, you expect the guy to pay, right? Or no?
I feel like yes, like in the beginning, the first couple of dates, yes, that they should definitely, especially if they're asking you out, like they should be for sure, like they should be paying, like in the beginning for the first couple of dates. Like obviously, like when you guys start like talking more and like that's different, but I feel like in the beginning, yes. If you invite me out on a date and you expect me to pay for my own, you are asking me on a date and you expect me to pay my own bill, like there's probably never going to be a second date again. Just saying.
So that segues into one of the topics I want to talk about is financial. So could you date a guy who makes less money than you?
So I think, okay, so here's the thing. I think I could, but I have to know, for me, that that's hard. So I feel like yes, but I have to know that for me, this person has like goals and things that they want to do to like make their lives better, right? Like if they're like, so maybe like this person right now, maybe they just, life happens, maybe something happened and whatever. And so maybe they're not at their perfect job or like whatever, not making whatever. But I think just it's one thing if you're dating somebody who is like fine with just being where they're at and not like growing, right?
Yeah.
And it's another thing if somebody has like goals and are actually actively like making those steps. So I think for me, that's where it comes into play, like to see how important it is. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you meet the guy, you're digging him. The dates are amazing. He looks good, but let's just say he works at like a movie theater and in his spare time he just plays Call of Duty.
You give like the most extreme things. Well, no, I feel like, I mean, with that extreme, like, no, because I mean, I'm 36. I'm guessing that if I'm dating this guy, that he's also going to be around my same age, like to work at a movie theater, like that's, but also that's what I'm saying too. Like, I don't know, like no shame if that's somebody, but like, why are you working at a movie theater and do you have plans to be bettering your life? Because for me, no, that's not something that I would personally want.
I feel you. So back into financial. So when you're established, you're in a relationship, is 50-50 a thing? Do you feel like the male should just pretty much pay for everything? Or when it comes to bills, do you feel like y'all should split everything down the middle?
With bills?
Yeah.
So what
but this is after you're like established. Like you're in a relationship, y'all together for a year, you're living together at this point. How do you feel like the bills should be split up?
So, yeah, I haven't been in that position before, but I would think like, I don't know. I feel like for me that, yeah, I feel like that.
So you feel like he should just pay for everything?
No. I'm saying that like, I don't think, are you talking about like joint accounts and stuff or just like bills?
We'll start with just bills.
Okay.
So let's just say.
So like just like rent.
You have a
and
mortgage, rent, electric, cable.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
How are y'all splitting that up?
So, yeah, for that stuff, yes, 50-50. Yes.
Oh, okay.
If we're talking about, like, joint bank accounts, like, I don't think, like, you should, for me, I wouldn't want to join no bank account until I'm married.
So why is that?
Different.
Why don't you want a joint bank account?
Because that, to me, that's weird. Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like when you're just dating, even if it's, like, serious relationship, whatever, I feel like that, for me, finances need to be separate until you're married, and then when you're married, like that's I don't know, but I think very differently.
No, I agree. Is that like an older thing? Because when we started this podcast, I was looking up different ideas, and that was a question that came up, like joint bank accounts. And I've never thought about having a joint bank account like ever in my life, and I feel like that's like the older generation. That's what they do. And it's just like, I would never have a joint bank account. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no. I think that definitely
it's not like I'm
needs to
trying to
be separate
hide
totally.
anything, but it's
Right.
just like, I don't need you know what I mean, seeing
Yeah.
everything. Like, that's kind of wild. Like, that's kind of wild.
Not even for that reason, but I'm just saying, I think it's like, yeah, joint bank accounts definitely shouldn't be a thing until you're married.
Yeah. So when it comes to 50-50, that's how I was, because I've been in that situation. Like, me and my ex, we had a place together. Obviously, we didn't split 50-50 because I have a son, and it's not her son. So we have a 2-bedroom, so it's like, you should have to split 50-50 in that situation. So, but she would pay a portion of it. So that's how we would split up things.
Okay. I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
But
Yeah.
you agree that you don't expect the man to just pay for everything.
No, absolutely not. No.
That's cool. All right. Do you feel like a lot of women feel that way, or?
When it comes to them, I feel like I see both, but no, I feel like the majority of like just, like my friends and stuff like that, like I feel like it's more of like 50-50. I don't feel like I'm speaking from like the people I know and my friends are expecting like the guy to pay just everything.
Yeah.
That's kind of a little crazy, but I don't know. Maybe some people think that, but no, I think for sure, yeah. That
I
you
feel like
should
that's also
definitely
like
pay
a
stuff.
previous generational thing. Because I feel like when you watch these old movies, it's like the guy slaves for 12 hours a day, and then the wife's just at home like cleaning and cooking and really not just paying for anything.
Well, yeah, that is definitely, I feel like we are in 2025 now, and
Yeah.
women don't just stay at home anymore. Well, I mean, there's some stay-at-home moms, but yeah. And that, I think, is, I guess there are some women that, yes, but I mean, for me, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I always have to feel like I have my own.
So when do you have this conversation? Because I feel like finances is just a big thing in relationships. So when do you have this conversation? Do you have this conversation before you, like, do you have this conversation at the beginning of the relationship, in the talking phase? Do you feel like it's just when you finally set the standard that, oh, we're gonna move in together, this is how it should go?
I feel like that conversation should be, when you're starting to talk about like moving in with each other, then that's when all of that should be figured out and discussed then before you move in with them. But I don't think like super early on, like, yeah, I don't think it should happen until like it's serious and you know that you guys are going to move in with each other and that's like actually going to happen.
Beautiful. Last question. First date, guy attempts to pay for dinner, but he lost his debit card, and then you have to pay. He paid you back later, but how do you feel?
Wait, hold on. When did this happen to you?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. My ex, on our first date, I had lost my debit card literally like maybe 3 hours before the date. So I was just like, wow. So I took out enough cash, but I ain't gonna lie, we went a little hard with the drinking. So long story short, I had enough to pay the bill. I just didn't have enough to tip. And obviously I'm in the industry, so it's just like, hey, just slide me a 20. I'm gonna give it right back to you, like when we get to the house.
So, I mean, I've never been in that position before, but I'm glad that you paid that person back. Wait, you said this was somebody that you were dating, or this was
My
with your
ex,
ex?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's a little different because
No,
you
it
guys
was our
were
first
together.
date though.
Oh, first date. Oh,
I
yeah,
paid the whole bill. I just didn't have the 20 to tip.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I thought.
But I gave it right back to her as soon as I got out to the house.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's okay. I was thinking something completely different.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm saying, if that happened to you, like, what would you think?
I don't know, like, why? Well, you said you lost your debit card, but I don't know. I feel like I'd have to be in that position but like, get your life together. Why don't you have your
exactly. Like, why are you losing debit? What are you doing to lose your debit card 3 hours before we go on a date? Like, that's
because
kind
then
of
I feel like, okay, maybe you should have like, I don't know, like then. So that situation was different, but like, I don't know. I feel like if you lost your debit card and you knew a couple hours before the date, like, I don't know, maybe like rescheduling or something would be a good idea.
True. All right. What's on our next topic list here?
Okay, let's. Okay, so why do we think that defining a relationship is tricky?
I feel like, again, it's such a thin line from dating to talking to like being in a relationship. Don't hate me, but like I have a friend now who he's basically dating this girl. They're basically in a relationship. He calls her his girl, but they're not official. And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you're not talking to the other woman. You're not doing anything bad. Why not make it official? Like, why not just be like, hey, be my girlfriend? And it's funny because everyone is like, oh, how's your girl? How's your girl? And he answers, and I'm like, and I'm an asshole. So I'm just like, that's not his girl. And they're like, that's his girl. And I'm like, ask him his anniversary date. They don't have one because they're not together.
No, but I want to know. Okay, so I do want to know, and what is stopping him from like dividing the relationship for it to be like his girlfriend? Like, what does he say when you tell him?
He's gonna hate me. He's never gonna see this, but it's funny. We just talked about this, and I feel like he feels like that she's gonna ask him like for his location. She's gonna ask him to just kind of like go deeper into like that kind of territory. Like, oh, let's like share locations and.
So he's assuming.
Yeah, exactly. He's assuming. I'm like, bro, just have the conversation with her. And if worse comes to worse, just tell her that you don't want to share locations yet, or you don't want her to check your social media.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with that? Like, that to me, I don't know. That's annoying. Especially, I don't know. No, that's happened to me before, and I think that's super. I think that what are you? I don't know. Just frustrating. It's like, what are you waiting for?
Exactly. So I feel like, let's say I'm talking to a girl. We're talking after, I'm going to be honest, after maybe 4 dates, if we're texting every single day, we've been on 4 or 5 dates. At this point, it's just like, we're together. Like, we're like in a relationship because I'm talking to you every day. I'm not talking to anyone else. We've gone on 4 or 5 amazing dates. At that point, it's like, what are we doing here?
Exactly. Okay. And so do you still old school, like officially, like, you know, what does that look like for you when you know, okay, this is somebody that I want to be my girlfriend? Or are you just like kind of like assuming too?
Oh, no, I'm going to tell her. We're going to have a conversation. Okay. Like, I'm going to go to dinner, take her somewhere nice, and just be like, oh, okay. At this point, it's our 6th date. Like, I feel like we should make it official. I feel like you should be my girlfriend.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's how it should be. Yeah. I think, like homeboy. I don't think we should be. I don't know. That's super confusing, and I don't think it's right for, either person, but like, yeah.
So how long do you feel, like how many dates do you feel like you have to go on, or how long do you feel like before it's like, all right, we need to make this official?
So I feel like putting a number on it is kind of tricky because it kind of just depends, like, okay, like you may have been on like 6 dates, but like it depends on like the chemistry, you know, like conversations, all that stuff. Like, so I feel like putting a timeline with like how many dates is kind of hard. But I mean, I feel like if you both know that you guys want to be together and you guys have chemistry, I feel like, for me though, I feel like maybe like 2 months or something. But again, I move like a little bit slower, so I feel like
I feel like 2 months is a good time frame. I feel like 2 months is good.
I feel like a couple, like giving it like a couple of maybe not really like dates, but again, it depends on like, okay, you guys are talking every day, the depths of those conversations, like there's a lot of different factors that go into it, and I just feel like you would know. Yeah,
because I feel like obviously we're busy, so it's like it might take 2 months to go on 4 or 5, 6 dates. You know what I mean? So I feel like 2 months is it's a pretty good time frame, if I'm being honest. Same. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, and it's weird because even though I'm talking about my friend, there's a lot of people around me that they're constantly dating the same girl, and I just feel like they're just so afraid to like pull the trigger. And sometimes it bothers me because it's like, what are you afraid of? Like, if the relationship doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. Like, do you feel like some people are just afraid to fail?
Yes. And I think there's multiple factors that come in with that too. So when you're saying like they're dating the same girl, what do you mean? Like being with them, breaking up with them, going back type of thing? Or
no, like for instance, right now, I'll be honest, like I have a roster right now. So sometimes I go on different dates. But I'm saying if you're locked down, you're only going out with that one girl. You're not talking to anyone else. You're constantly only talking about her. chilling with her, then it's just like, what's stopping you from pulling that trigger?
Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Because yeah, like you're not talking to anyone else. So, and that's something that's like super confusing too. I feel like can be for women. Like, okay, so like why not? But it's interesting to see that point of view and that guys feel that way. But I'm like, okay, why? Like, why are we doing this?
Exactly. So, woman's perspective. That happens to you. Let's say you've gone out. It's been 2 months. It's been maybe even 3 months. Y'all have gone out on a few dates. He's amazing, but he never pops that question. Are you gonna say something, or are you just gonna ghost him?
Well, so I feel like if I'm you know, I like him, the vibe, all that. I feel like yes, that if I really like this person, that I would want to like, what are we doing, right? Because yeah, like I feel like to keep going, like I said, I've been put in that position before where like your friend, not like you guys are the only ones talking to each other, not talking to anybody else, but you got been never putting that official like title relationship. So yes, I feel like then it does need to be brought up because it's like, what are we doing?
Question: do you feel is it okay to vacation with someone if you're in the talking phase, if you're not official? Like, let's just say, like, hey, the guy you're talking to is like, hey, let's go to San Diego for the weekend. Is that okay, or?
So I think it is, but I think that, again, okay, like for you to do that, I feel like that's kind of like a big deal. And if you're like just talking, like, yeah, if you're just talking, and I feel like that's like a big deal, and that it should be more than there should be more there, right?
Okay.
Just to like just take like a random girl to San Diego. I don't know, because I feel like for me, like if somebody's gonna take that I'm talking to is gonna take me out of town on a trip, and I feel like that can be confusing too, because I'm gonna feel like, okay, like this is, you know, like I feel like that's something serious, and you shouldn't just be taking random girls out, like if you don't see it going anywhere with them.
So this happened to me recently. Have you ever like prematurely claimed a guy? Like, to give you an example, I was at the bar and it's just like I'm with this girl who we've been on a few dates or whatever, and then she introduced me as her man, and I'm just like I'm drinking, I almost spit out my drink. I'm just like, when did this happen? Like, when did this happen? Like,
no.
And that's happened a few times actually.
No.
Or do you feel like it could be just a respect thing? Like, it's just like, oh, like maybe this person, while I'm in the bathroom, is trying to talk to me, but I'm going to just say that this is my man for now so I don't get bothered.
So, I mean, I think that it maybe because it's awkward, and that's why I feel like it's so awkward, like when you're like, I don't know, when there's not a title, it's because like, what is it? Like, what are we doing? Like, if, you know, like you're my friend, I don't know, because what are they? Like, it's not your man, but it's like, you're more than friends.
Oh my God.
I don't know. So it's weird. And I don't know, maybe but I would not.
Exactly.
I would not claim somebody as my man. That is not my man. But it is weird, and it puts you in a really weird position.
Oh
like,
my God. I have to share a story. Don't hate me. You're probably not going to watch this anyway. But it was just funny because I was at the bar. This was like 2 weeks ago. And this girl, there's another couple at the bar. So they're like getting us drinks. We're having a good time. And she introduced me as like her man. So it was just funny because out of nowhere, she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going out of town like in 2 weeks. Or I think it was like a week. And I was like, oh, you're going out of town? And they kind of looked like, wait, what? Y'all are in a relationship, but you didn't know she was like leaving the state? So it just became so awkward.
Yeah, no, that is super awkward. And yeah, there's just, I just feel like there's so many things about that. But yeah, definitely.
So vice versa. Let's say you're on a date and a guy prematurely claims you. Like, he's like, oh, this is my girl right here. How do you feel about that?
Like, I feel like if I'm not your girl until I'm really your girl, like, don't call me your girl until it's like.
But do you go with the flow? Do you just have the conversation later?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna embarrass the person in front of like, that's rude. But yeah. But then I feel like later I'd be like, wait, okay, so what? Like, what's happening? Like, but yeah, no. I think that's private conversation.
So back to being in 2025, because this is a new generation or whatever. But when do you feel it's good timing to meet your parents? Do you feel like it's like before y'all establish a relationship? Should it be after?
So that is so hard because I feel like I feel like it should be when you know that you guys are serious, because I don't want to be introducing people to my family like, and then I don't know, like just constantly like introducing like different males to my family, like different guys and stuff. So for me, I feel like once I know that we're like serious and like, then that's for me. That's when I would want to introduce people to my family.
That makes sense.
Introduce him to my family.
So how also do you feel about, let's just say, like with my ex, me and her mom would like text. How do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about your significant other having like talking to your mom and your dad or whatever?
So I feel like, I don't think there's anything wrong with
No.
that. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they're not, I don't know. I feel like that could so hold on. When you were already in a relationship with them, like how long were you with her?
4.5 years.
Okay. So you're talking about like in the beginning or now?
Oh, so that's what I was going to get at, because is this awkward? So for instance, obviously, like I told you from earlier in the podcast that I blocked her from everything, but I still have her mom's number. And it's just like, I'll be honest, I was like, I'm going to block her mom. But I didn't. And then like for Father's Day, she texted me. And this is like 2 months after. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, maybe she just really liked you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, no, that.
Do you feel like it's the mom, or was it her crying out for help? Like, you should check on John.
It could be her. Well, especially since you're blocked from everything else. But
Yeah.
I don't know what your relationship
Whoa.
was with
She's
mom.
blocking everything too. Don't make it seem like you just blocked me.
Okay, all right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, it could be her way of trying to like see how you're doing, but yeah, I don't know.
I just egoed her right now. How do you feel about? Because sometimes I feel like us men, we can have like a really big ego, and I feel like I just did that. That was kind of wild.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. What about you though? For bringing around, what does it look like for you bringing around people to like friends and family for you?
That is a great question. I feel like, I don't know, me, it's just always been organic. Like, because I've been in 2 seriously long relationships. One was 10 years, one was 4.5 years. The first relationship, I met her dad on like the first date. It was kind of wild. I was like, no, what? Like, but we were like in high school, so he gave me a ride home. You know what I mean? I don't have a car,
Okay.
so it was just
Different.
It was like different. But I feel like if it just happens organically, like. I guess, I don't know.
So for
I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. I don't have a problem
You
with
don't
it.
feel like it should be like, you shouldn't be serious before like introducing him to friends and family.
Yeah, but I feel like for me, the only family I have left is like my sister, because I don't really, like, I'm not really that close to my dad. He lives, in a whole different state. So it's like, to be honest, dang, actually, I don't think either of my 2 exes actually even met my dad. Actually, my first one did, but it's just like, it's my sister, and it's like, my sister's almost more like a best friend, so it's just like, I feel like that's different. Like, even if I'm just, I'll be honest, whoring around, like, she meets everyone, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
Okay, but so friends, your closest friends, like when you just bring anyone around, like.
Oh, no. So maybe that's different. Like, I feel like it would have to be serious for my friends to, like my close friends.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's certain bars I would even go to if it's not serious. Because, you know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean?
because like I have a lot of regular bartenders that I deal with. I like going there, and they've actually become friends. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, they know about my life, so it's
Okay.
like, I'm not just gonna bring anyone to this bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes
I don't
a little
need
bit more
I don't need
sense.
my bartender to be like, oh well, who's this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
What else is on our topic list?
All right, let's talk about how you know when you're ready to date.
That is that oh my gosh. That's what I feel like I'm going through right now, because it's like I said, again, I have a roster, but I have one. I feel like she's like kind of like becoming up there. I'm not gonna say she's like my main chick, but she's become up there, and I feel like we've been talking for like maybe 3 months now, and I finally took her out to eat, like, and it was kind of like it's kind of like a big thing, you know what I mean?
Okay,
but again, transparency, communication. I let them know ahead of time that I just got out of a relationship, and again, I've been in a 10-year relationship. I've been in a 4.5-year relationship, so I feel like damn near more than half my life, especially since I've been of the age to date, I've been focusing my life on a woman. So it's just like I feel like I at this point just need like me time. And that's where at the beginning of the episode we talked about like the dating, talking, because I actually like going out, but I have to communicate like this is not a date, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because right now I just feel like I'm not ready to just date. Like I like going out, but I still need me time, you know? Like I still need to recover. And I don't feel like that's fair for the girl. Because it's just like, I don't even want to waste your time. Like, this isn't going to escalate to anything serious.
Right. Yes. So I have so many things that I can say about this. First, let's go back to your roster with that, right? Okay, let's talk about the roster. Like, okay, how many girls currently are you talking to, and what does that look like? Because I feel like guys, yes, they often will have a roster. I feel like it's a little different for girls. So what does that look like for you? And you said one was creeping up higher than the other. Okay, I want to hear all about that.
Oh my God. So I feel like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Birthday's tomorrow, so I feel like now that I'm getting older, I'm cutting the roster. But I feel like last month, there's probably like 4 or 5 on the roster. And it was just, it's more just like, oh, I'm about to go get lit. Let me see what this girl's doing. Let me see what this girl's doing. Let me see what this girl's doing. But, and I'm also going to keep looking. Like if I see a woman and I'm just like, oh, wow, I'm not going to let it slide. You know what I mean? I'm going to shoot my shot.
Okay.
And see where that goes.
Okay. And
but I'll be honest, like, that's another thing about the whole dating scene. A lot of women out here right now, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Why? Explain.
I'm going to share a story. So I met this girl, and she was super cool, and I thought we hit it off. And I think I hung out with her for like 3 hours. I ain't gonna lie, I met her at a bar or whatever. But she didn't ask me for any money, but come to find out she's like an escort. Mm-hmm. And someone basically had told me like, oh, you know she's an escort, right? I was just like, what the heck? Like, it just shocked me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I was just like, wow.
Okay, so I lost my train of thought that I was going to say.
I know, that's crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what about the girls that are climbing up your roster? What does that look like for
So I only have
you?
one right now.
Okay.
I'm cutting off all of them. But she's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just because she's cool.
I mean, she's cool. You know what? I feel like that something could escalate if I was ready, but I'm just not ready right now.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think, and like we were saying too, and like you were saying, I think how you were saying, you have been in relationships and, you know, married like that longer than you've been single, right? So I think, yeah, for you, it, like you said, for you, it's more of like kind of like a, maybe like the dating spree and like just healing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's why I like that question too, is because, okay, so like how do you know when you're ready to date? Because you just got out of a long distance relationship and then you kind of jumped right into dating, right? Like
kind of, yeah.
Okay, so like what does that look like for you?
I hope she doesn't see this, but it also sucks because I'll be honest, with my ex, I don't feel like I was ready to date either. But I just felt like I'm not going to let this one get away. So even though I wasn't ready, it's almost like I had to get ready. It's like when you have a child. Like no one ever knows what to do when they're having like their first kid. It just comes and they got to learn. So I feel like, I guess what I'm getting at is it sucks because I feel like if she was what I was looking for, then maybe I would just deal with it. Because I'm also not an idiot. Like if I meet the one right now, then I'm gonna take her serious for sure.
Okay.
Even if I feel like I'm not ready, I'm gonna try to get ready because I don't want that what if.
Okay. So this is what I want to know too, like, because I feel like women and men, when it comes to like heartbreak, healing, all that stuff, completely different, right? So like So for you, I mean, I guess I can't really ask that because I was going to say, like, are you usually more to the type that will just, is it like normal where you would just like get into like talking like after, like not letting that time to like heal or whatever? Like, do you just like go into dating like right away? But I guess it's a little bit harder since you've kind of.
I feel like because me and my ex, we had broke up, but we still kind of lived together for a while. Even though she would like go spend time at her mom's house, she would come home frequently. So at that point, it's like I'm not going to go date. I'm not going to go talk to anyone because I feel like that's just disrespectful. Like I'm not going to bring someone home and then you come home like that. But I'll be honest, the day she moved out, let's just say she moved out on the 7th. If I go out the 8th and I meet someone, then yeah,
John,
we're talking.
God, oh my God. Okay, so what? So you just no time to heal after being in a relationship for 4 years, and the next day. All right. Okay. All right. So all right. That's okay. Because I feel like
the male perspective, we got needs.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like very different. Because I feel like for women, most women.
So if you break up with a guy, let's just say same thing on the 8th of. Let's just say tomorrow's the 8th. You break up with your guy, then how long before you even talk to someone or you entertain someone? So you're telling me you're at Barnes & Noble on the 9th. You see the perfect, tall, dark, handsome guy. He's perfect. And he shoots his shot at you. You're just going to be like, nah, I'm healing.
I mean, I'm not going to say just that. But I do feel like, yes, if you were with somebody and that you cared about, relationship, whatever, sometimes even like just like a talking phase, like I do feel like you do need time for yourself to heal and reflect because I feel like you're just jumping into something else, like not healing, and I think that can be a slippery slope. So I feel like...
So you're turning down the guy on the 9th?
I don't.
You're not going to give him your number?
Okay, so... I mean, not that I wouldn't give him my number, but I do feel like, and that's where I feel like timing is everything because you can meet like the perfect person at like in the wrong time, right? Like I do feel like, because I do feel like you need to properly heal, like depending on what happened, you know, the situation, whatever, however the breakup ended or whatever. I do think it's important to have time to heal instead of just like jumping into like the next, the next whatever situationship or whatever it's gonna be. Like, I feel like you need time.
See, what if it's God's plan? That's why I'm telling you. If it's the 9th, I'm gonna talk because it's like, what if they got sent to me and it's just like, I can't let this go. So I'm gonna get the number and I'm gonna text. I'm gonna talk, see where it goes.
Okay, but do you ever feel like that? Okay, like it's the 8th and the 9th, like from the 8th to the 9th. Don't you feel like that's like something where you're like, okay, I need to sit back and like I need to do me, figure out me, like all these things because maybe you're bringing, you know, like who is John, who is Leah, like right when we're like with somebody for a while and like what happened or whatever. So you don't ever feel like that, like from a male's perspective, you guys just don't feel like you need that time to heal.
Again, let's just say 8th, 9th, 8th, she left. I cried. 9th, I'm good.
You're good by the 9th?
By the 9th, I'm good. Well, maybe I'm not good, but I'm saying like you see the perfect girl and you don't want to miss out. So I'm not going to say I'm going to go straight into dating her. I'm not saying we're going to go on the date on the 10th. You know what I mean? But I'm going to get her number. I'm going to text her here and there. And then once I'm ready, then it's like, hey, let's go out on a date.
Okay.
But I'm just not going to turn it down just because it's like, oh, she just left on the 8th. Like, I meet this perfect, beautiful woman, and it's just like, no, I'm healing. I'm just not going to do that. No, of course, I'm going to get the number. And maybe I'm not going to text her right away, but I'll be like, hey, and then eventually go on a date when I am done healing. Okay,
interesting. Very interesting.
Last question. How long, what's a good time for, like, a good amount of time to heal? Like, what do you feel is, like, a good amount of time to heal? Because I feel like, I'll be honest, I think I said this last podcast, but I feel like right now I'm a walking red flag because
I feel like you are too.
Because it's just like I feel, realistically, I feel like it's crazy because everyone always likes to tell me like, oh, I don't think you're done healing. It's going to hit you later. Like, it's going to hurt you later. But me personally, it's like, in my opinion, this is my second long-term relationship. So it's just like, I feel like I've been through this before. So I feel like I am healed.
I feel like after 4 years, if you're with somebody for 4 years, like you're not just one day to cry and be over it. I feel like no. I feel like with the serial dating and like all of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with like dating and all that. But yeah, I feel like healing. I need longer than one day to heal. Like,
And again, I'm still healing. I'm just saying I'm not gonna miss my shot.
okay.
Like I can heal while we're talking.
Can you though? I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, because then I feel like, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like, okay, that there can be other hurts too, that if you're not healed, you can bring that into whatever, even though if you're just talking or whatever, and then you can get hurt even more on top of your healing. Like, I don't know, that's just me, but that's what I feel like.
I don't know. Maybe I'm different, but I feel like I'm a good multitasker, so I can
Okay.
heal while we're talking. But I do feel like I'm gonna be more like vulnerable. Like I feel like if you do something that, again, like you brought up a good point. Like, what if they hurt me on
Right.
top of my healing?
It's
Then
not-
I'm probably gonna crash out. Like I'm probably just gonna crash out.
Right. So I think both ways, right? Like I think that, yeah, definitely, like you can, and that could just, you can just keep hurt on top of hurt, right?
Yeah.
When you just need to. But again, that's what I said, women's point of view and male's point of view, totally different. So interesting to hear your part.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Any closing thoughts for episode 2?
Closing thoughts? Not that I can think of.
Perfect. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know any questions you want us to talk about. We did talk about how we want to start bringing on guests. So if you'd like to come on and give us your perspective, male or female, let us know. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow us. Kid J. Scott and my co-host.
Leah Tanner.
We out.
See you next time.